Stop scrolling. This is for the person who hasn't said it out loud. You're not a little tired. You're the kind of tired that sits in the driveway with the engine off because walking inside feels like another shift at a job you didn't apply for. You answer the texts. You show up. You do the dishes. You make the calls. You smile when it's expected. And then you get alone and your chest feels tight like your body is bracing for impact. At 3:12 a.m., your mind starts counting. Bills, mistakes, what ifs, deadlines, symptoms. And here's the scary part. You've started to wonder if this is just your new normal. It isn't. Because God does not wait for you to collapse before He moves. He sends help before you even know what to call it. Angels among us. Not theory, reinforcement, so stay with me. Before we talk about storms, hear this. Angels in the Bible don't show up as decorations. They show up as intervention. Acts 27 is one of the clearest examples. Paul is on a ship, not on a stage, not in a sanctuary. A ship, crowded, loud, soaked, cold. Prisoners, soldiers, sailors. Everybody stressed, everybody hungry, everybody trying to act brave. And then, in the middle of it, Paul says something that should stop you cold.
Last night an angel of the God to whom I belong and whom I serve stood beside me.
Not after it was over. Not when the sky cleared. In the storm. Beside him. That means before the solution. There was presence. Before the rescue. There was reinforcement. You may not feel God, but you may be closer to help than you think. Acts 27 describes a kind of suffering that doesn't look dramatic on camera. It says, "Neither sun nor stars appeared for many days." That's not poetry. That's disorientation. No sunrise to mark a new day. No stars to navigate. No way to tell if you're moving forward or drifting in circles. Just wind, water, noise, darkness. That's what some of you are living in right now. Not a single big tragedy, just day after day where nothing lifts. You don't know what's next with your health. You don't know what's next with your money. You don't know what's next with your family. And the worst part is not the storm. It's the feeling that you can't get your bearings. When you can't see sun or stars, you start making panic decisions. You start reaching for lifeboats that won't hold you. But the angel, still present, still assigned. So, keep watching because your story is coming up next. The Bible doesn't say they screamed. It doesn't say they mutinied. It says something quieter and worse. We finally gave up all hope of being saved. That's the moment you stop expecting good news. You still go to work, but you don't expect change. You still pray, but you don't expect an answer. You still love your family, but you feel numb doing it. Hope doesn't explode. Hope erodes. And you start telling yourself lies that feel practical. Maybe this is just my life. Maybe I'm stuck like this. Maybe it's too late. Maybe God helps other people. That's the moment the enemy loves. Because you don't need to be destroyed. You just need to be convinced to quit. And here's what I need you to hear. The angel didn't show up because Paul was strong. The angel showed up because God refuses to abandon people in the dark. Even when you feel nothing, help is still moving. Here's the twist that hits people in the chest. God didn't calm the storm in Acts 27. Read it again. He didn't calm it. The wind kept screaming. The waves kept throwing the ship around. The sky stayed hidden. So why did God send an angel? Because the miracle wasn't no storm. The miracle was you don't lose your life in it. Some of you are waiting for God to remove the pressure before you believe again. But what if the angel assignment isn't to remove the storm? What if the assignment is to keep you from making the decision that kills your future? The message from the angel to Paul was not soft. Do not be afraid. You must stand trial. God has graciously given you the lives of all who sail with you. Translation, you're going to make it, and others will live because you don't quit. That's not comfort. That's command. But stay with us. Your solution is coming next. This is where Acts 27 becomes painfully personal. The sailors tried to lower the lifeboat. They were looking for a way out, a quick escape, a shortcut, a disappearing act. And Paul says one line that feels offensive when you're suffering.
Unless these men stay with the ship, you cannot be saved.
In other words, don't abandon the process. And for you, stay with the ship might mean don't quit the marriage in a midnight spiral. Don't send the message that burns the bridge. Don't walk out of the job because you're exhausted and angry. Don't numb yourself and call it coping. Don't trade your future for relief tonight. Staying isn't passive. Staying is warfare. The enemy doesn't need you to stop believing forever. He just needs you to bail out once, at the wrong moment. Stay with the ship. Angels are working in the dark. This is what I love about angels in Scripture. They don't flatter you. They move you. In Acts 27, Paul doesn't stand up with motivational quotes. He stands up with a message anchored in what the angel told him.
I have faith in God that it will happen just as he told me.
That's staying power, not mood, not hype, not denial. It's a decision. You can be shaking and still decide. You can be tired and still decide. You can be confused and still decide. Faith is not a feeling. Faith is choosing your guide when you can't see the stars. And sometimes the angelic assignment in your life is not fireworks. It's one sentence that holds you in place when you're about to drift. One phone call that arrives at the right minute. One verse that lands like a hand on your shoulder. One moment where you breathe and realize, I'm still here. That is not nothing. That is intervention. Now hear this. The ship in Acts 27 does not survive. The storm doesn't politely end. The journey doesn't get smooth. The vessel breaks apart. And yet the promise stands. Not one life is lost. Some of you are terrified because your ship is cracking, and it can be scary at times. Your plan didn't hold. Your timeline didn't work. Your strength is not what it used to be. Your confidence took a hit. But what if the breaking isn't the end? What if God is saving you on pieces? Acts 27 says they reached land on planks and broken parts of the ship. That means what carried you before may not carry you now. But God will still get you there. The enemy will point at what broke and say, see, you failed. God points at your survival and says, no, you made it. Angels don't always preserve the vessel. They preserve the life. If you're in a storm season, I'm not going to insult you with cliches. I'm going to tell you the truth. Acts 27 tells, when the sky disappears, God is not absent. When you can't navigate, God can. When you're ready to give up hope, heaven does not give up on you. And sometimes the most important miracle is not that the storm stops. It's that you don't jump. You don't quit. You don't trade your future for immediate relief. Because angels are among us, assigned, present, and active when you feel least worthy of help. So if you're tired, if you're fraying, if you're quietly falling apart, stay with the ship. And if you want to make this personal right now, pray this simple prayer. God, I don't see the stars. I don't feel strong, but I'm not jumping. Send your help. Keep me. Sustain me. Lead me. If this hit you, tell me in the comments. I'm staying. And subscribe, because this series is for people fighting storms in silence. Stop scrolling. Stay with the ship. Angels are among us. Help is already here.
Cheers.